Hi, 𝐬𝐚𝐬 here with T2S Transformed to Succeed. You find more information about what we do here at T2S on our website, www.transformtosucceed.com. So you go there, you're gonna learn more about us and what we do and how we change people's lives through technology. Today in this video, I'll be talking about Git and GitHub. So I'm gonna take you first to the website here quickly. So here you go. So this is the website, and you're gonna need first of all to sign up, meaning that you get an account with GitHub. Git and GitHub, what it does, this is a tool that is used by a lot of companies now to control versioning, to manage versioning control. In other words, it creates an interface that allows developers, engineers to collaborate. When you set up an account, you're gonna need, first of all, you're gonna need a password, you're gonna need an email, and then you're gonna need to verify who you are. In my case, when you do this, click on sign up. It's gonna take you to this here, and in my case, I have like 3-4 accounts, so I will not sign up for an account. So you just follow this prompt. It's gonna take you to, here it's saying invalid because I already have an account. So you follow the prompt. It's gonna take you to the password. You set up a new password, and then you verify who you are. And then after verifying who you are, then you can open up an account with a GitHub. So in my situation, I will just go ahead and sign in. So I already have an account. So you see my password has been populated here. Just click on sign in. So after you sign up, then you'll be able to sign in to your account, and it's gonna take you to this dashboard, and this is where you create your new repositories. And the repository, it's kind of like a place, like a holder, where you put your data, scripts, anything, and anyone on your team with the right permissions, they can access this repository. So how do we use Git and GitHub? And that's what I'm gonna talk about in the next right now, actually. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna create a directory on our local system. Then we'll push that directory to our GitHub repo, meaning that at work, that's what you'll be doing, or that's what you've been doing. So you either let's say your manager comes to you and says, hey, Tom, you need to set up we need this script, and you need to send it to GitHub. And on GitHub, we don't have a repo yet, so you're gonna have to set up a new repo. So you can do it two ways. You either both ways. You still have to come here on GitHub. Let's say we want to create a repo, and we'll call it git new -git repo. So we're gonna do that. So we're gonna go here. You can either use the green new button here, or you can go to the plus here, on top right menu there, and you can also go to your icon here, your image here. So you can either go there, then find your repositories, which will take you kind of like close to almost to this page that you see here. So let's create a new repository. So we're gonna call it we're gonna call it new, and then we'll say Git repository. And here you see it says it's available, so we'll call it that. We'll give it that name. So that's our new repo. And then once you do this, don't do anything else. Just go down here at the bottom of the page and click create repository. So this you've created the new Git repository. So now what we can do, and I will share with you the documentation that I'm using here that I wrote for myself. So what we're gonna have to do here, hold on, let me make this a little bit bigger that you guys can, visible. So I'm gonna do that and then position this here so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. I think this is better. This will be okay. And you can see that. So we and that's the documentation that I'm following here. So we go to the beginning and we're using this method here from LocalSystem, and then you send your repo to GitHub. So the first thing that you need to do, you have to install Git. And to install Git on your local system, you just Google how to install Git on Windows, how to install Git on Mac, and you'll find the steps. And after you have done that, you're gonna need to configure your Git. And to configure, you use these commands. First, you're gonna need the username and then the user email. And I'll show you what is your username. So when you set up your account, let me take you to the website. When you set up your account, you're gonna have you'll be having this one here. Like my account, I use this username, Mesit. So that's what it is, and that's what it's gonna be. And that's your username that you're gonna have to use when you configure your Git. So you do that. And I don't need to do it because I have already configured my Git on my local system. And you do the same with the email address that you use to set up your Git account, the GitHub account. Now next, what we do, we have to create a directory. And I'm gonna show you, and as the Linux engineer, you know how to create a directory. So we're gonna do make dir, and remember the name of the directory that you're creating here on your local system has to be the same with what you have on GitHub. Okay, so it's gonna be we're gonna give it the same name, new Git repository. So you do that, and that's done. You can do ls, or I'm gonna move it because the thing here is that make sure that you put it in a place where you can find it, right? So I'm gonna go to my desktop there, and this is what I have on my desktop. I'm gonna remove that so that it doesn't create any confusions here. So sometimes that's what happens. So depending on how much stuff you have there, when deleting a directory, you can also use the -y to help say yes to all of the questions that the command may ask you. Okay, so we are in the desktop, and then so you can verify I am on the desktop. And what I need to do now is to create the directory that we have talked about, and which we have also created on the GitHub account. So it's gonna be that way. And then after you create that, you have to initialize. You have to initialize your Git repository. But to do that, first you have to go into that directory you have just created, and then you will use git init to initialize, and here it says that this empty directory has been initialized. And next, what you have to do is now to create a file, and you can do like echo. We can say my new repository, and then we're gonna create a file and add this content here, and this file would be readme.md. So that's and you can verify if you want to do that, and it's there, right? So after you do that, now you need to stage and commit the changes, and that's what we want to do now. And to do that, you want to use the git add, meaning that everything that is in here will be staged, making sure that now Git can track the changes that you make in this directory, in this working directory. So we've done that, and now we're gonna commit the changes, and then our message would be initial commit. Then press enter, and that's done. So now, after we have done this, we go to the next step. This is what we have done by, when we went to our dashboard on our account on GitHub. So we created this directory. So now we have the new Git directory here. So we have the new Git directory. And then what we will do is to go to the next. So now we need to link our local repository. That's our directory, new Git repository, to our remote repository. And how do we do that? To do that, we are just going to do first the git remote add origin. And remember this command, add origin, and then we have this link. Okay, and this link, you want to get the correct link here. Remember GitHub, then my name, that would be my username, 𝐦𝐸𝐵𝐞, and then here git new repository. That's what we did, and it's gonna be the same. So I'll take you to the website here quickly. So if you go to the website, and then I'm gonna look for the repositories. You see here, there's a tab that says repositories. I'm gonna click on the new one that we have just created at the beginning of our video here, and then here you already have the link, so you can just select that link, and then this link, you see the three parts. I'll take you to the command line here so that it makes more sense. So I'm gonna because what we have to do, it's gonna be git add, looking at the documentation, git add, a git remote add. So we're gonna do git remote add origin, and then we pasted the link. So now if you compare, you look at this here. So what we have this is the website, github.com, and then this is my username, and then here the name of the repository, and that's what you do. So you're gonna press enter, and now we have pressed enter, and you can use this command to kind of like check on the status by using the command git status. If you do that, and it's already on branch main, okay, so you automatically, when you create a new repository, Git will assign a branch. Okay, so we'll not go into more details about branches and stuff like that, but I just want you to understand the life cycle here, and how you can use Git as a Linux administrator or engineer. So we've done that. So now let's go to the website and see what we have here. So on the website, we are on the website. So I'm going to my website here, GitHub account, and I'm gonna look for my newly created repository here. So when you go here, remember this repository didn't have anything yet, but now let me see here. And I think I need to do one more thing here. So yeah, for some reason my video stopped. So this is the rest of the video for this specific session. So what you do, and I was talking to myself here, what I've done here, I have, because the last thing that we need to do is to, we're gonna have to, you know what we have done? We have linked the local remote repo to the local repo to the remote repo. And to do that, that's the command that we used. Let me see if I can go back to my stuff here. Okay, so I'm gonna take you to the command line here. So this is what I did. So that's linking. We have linked, okay, the local repo to the remote repo, and the next thing we do, we have to git push. Okay, so I'm gonna clear that so I can show it to you here. So you have to git push now the local to the remote repo. So you have done that, and that's what it's gonna do. It goes to the branch here. So that's everything is up to date. So I'll take you back to the website. Remember, the repo on GitHub was empty. So let's go find it. So we have repos here, a lot of repositories here. Then you go there, you're gonna find the README and with our, you know, the content. So now the second way that you can do this is, you may be at work and then your manager says you need to get a script or a code from our GitHub. Then you're gonna make some changes, and to do that you will need to I'm gonna first remove that. You're gonna need to I'll take you to the terminal here. So you're gonna need to I'm gonna do that. We go to the desktop, so I'm gonna remove the new Git here. Press Y, so it's done. Okay, it's done. So okay, it's gone. So now it's gone. So what we need to do, we use the command git clone, and that's also in the documentation here. That'll be from local. Yeah, this should be from Git to the local GitHub, to the local system. It's the other way around, so I didn't write it right here. I'll correct it. And again, the prerequisites are, you install Git and then you configure Git. So what you do, you just have to git clone. That would be the first step, and that is what we're gonna do. So we're gonna git clone, and what do we have to git clone again? So you go, and the manager will say, okay, this is where you need to go. So you go to the website, your company's GitHub. You're gonna look for the repository that you need to work on, and in our case it's this one here. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'll just copy the link here, because that's what I need. So I copy the link, and now I go back to my remote here in my terminal, and I paste the link there. So I'm gonna git clone, meaning that I bring that onto my system. If you ls, you see it's here. And again, what you have to do, you have to go to your the repo that you have downloaded, and then we have the readme document. If you check what it is, that's what we did on our local system, and then we send it to the GitHub. So you have that, and again here you're gonna pretty much kind of like do the same thing. So we have navigated to the cloned directory, and now we make changes. Let's echo something else here. So we're gonna echo this is my second commit to GitHub as an example. So I'm gonna append so that I don't, I don't delete what we have on the on this file here, readme. So I do that, and you can verify. So now we have this is the previous content, and now we have a new content. And sometimes your manager may ask you to just change the documentation. Readme, that's the file which contains the documentation about whatever you have on in that repo. Like it could be a bash script, it could be a Python script, it could be anything. So you have that, and that's done. So next, what we do, we now have to push this to the GitHub. And again, you use main instead of master, because if you use master, it may create an error, you see. So now because when you let me do this first, you always have to git init. Okay, so you git init, and that's good practice. Okay, so that's the process, the life cycle. You initialize that, and then you're gonna do this to stage your things, and then you have to commit, kind of like we use the same steps here. So you initialize, you stage by using git add and git commit. Then this is my second commit. So you do that, and after you have done that, now you can push it to the remote repo. So origin, and if you do master, let's see if it's not going to work, because the branch that we're using, let me clear this. If you do status here, so the branch that we're using is this one here. Then in this case, you need to use a different one. So you need to use the appropriate or the correct branch. So we're gonna use, in this case, we're gonna use main, and I'm gonna recall the command. So instead of master, you're gonna have to use main, and then it's gonna work. And this is what we've done. So now let's go back to the website, to our GitHub account. So we are back to our website. So we'll go back to the main page here, click on repositories, then go back to our repo that we've been working on, and then we go to the readme, and you see the message here from our command line. It's here, and then click on readme, and then this is what we just added. The first one was my new repo. The second one is, this is my second commit to GitHub. Well, friends, this is what you have done. You've done an amazing job, and this is pretty much all about GitHub. And you can find a lot of good information if you go to the website. If you go to the website, you can find a lot of documentation on Git. Here, let me see. You'll find a lot of good information here on GitHub. I'm looking at for documentation. Let's see here, just quick. So you find a lot of good documentation on GitHub, and which can tell you what to do and when to do it. Like here you have these are different, like you pull request. How do you do pull request? You can do it also here online on your off of your dashboard, or you can also do it from the command line. So you can just play around, but I don't want you to just spend so much time learning about Git, since you are going just to be a Linux engineer and not the guy or the lady in charge of GitHub. But if you want to pursue like a DevOps engineer career, then you have to go a little bit deeper than what I've shared with you today. And again, my name is Emmanuel. Thank you so much for your time. God bless, and I'll see you in the next video, and keep learning.